What's going on, American truckers? Welcome to Trucking with Old Snapper, and I'm your boy Old Snapper. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out the description on the videos. I always put a little bit of extra, and there's ways you can support the channel and channel memberships and stuff like that as well. And don't forget to, at the end, I always put up links to other videos and stuff like that as well. But we're going to talk about what you should make as a truck driver. Now, this is as a company driver. This is company driver pay, not owner-operator pay. Owner-operator pay would be a 10-part series. It depends on your cost. It depends on your... It has so many different variables in there with owner-operator or lease pay. This is purely as a company driver. Also, if you're able to figure out where I'm at in the video, comment down below. Tell me what state I'm in. All these clips are from the same state. And excuse my dirty windshield. That day I was driving, I think I killed every bug in that state on my windshield. Hey, it happens, you know how it is. Alright, now first things first. Your time in the industry has a lot to do with how much you make. Okay? So a first-year driver typically will not make as much as a 5-year driver, so on and so forth. Alright? And then another thing is, we all talk about miles and whether you run hard or don't run hard. Look, if you want to make money out here, you're going to have to run. It's not just going to be given to you because you're sitting in a truck in a truck stop. It's not going to happen. You're actually going to have to drive these miles in order to make this money. All right. Now, what I did is I took it and I based it on a 2,500 mile week, which for a company driver is industry average. I know there's some guys out there doing 3,000, 3,500 miles. Look, I'm basing this on a 2,500 mile week. So when you're comparing your numbers to what I put out here, make sure you're thinking about if you ran 2,500 miles. Also, I'm not talking about local driving. That's different. All right. I'm talking about OTR, regional, these guys. Okay. Now, a first-year driver straight out of school, no experience at all, should be making around the 1,200 a week mark. All right, for 2,500 miles, they should gross right around 1,200 a week straight out of school. That's been the industry average now for a couple of years for a first-year driver straight out of school. If you're grossing on a 2,500 mile week less than $1,200, you're probably with the wrong company, even as a starter company. You know, this is important. This is how you know if you're being paid industry average at the present time. I try to do these videos every now and then. I watch the industry averages a lot. I talk to a lot of drivers. I trained for 5 years. I know a lot of drivers, so I try to stay on top of this so that guys are able to stay on top of this as well. Now, your pay will go up after about 3 years. It goes up significantly. If you are a 3-year driver, you should be making no less than $1,500 a week for 2,500 miles. No less. And that's for flatbed drivers, reefer drivers, dry box drivers. If you're making less than $1,500 a week on a 2,500 mile week, you're probably with the wrong company. Now, when I say that, there may be other reasons you're with that company. Maybe they got freight that goes by your house, so you're willing to work for a little bit less money. Maybe they have APUs, you know, or some kind of truck comfort, so you're willing to work for less money. Maybe they're driving faster trucks, and that's what you want to drive, so you're willing to work for less money. Maybe, you know, it could be any number of things. I did another video on picking a trucking company, and I'll probably update it shortly. But you need to know what you want. You know, some guys come out here and they bounce around because they don't know what they want. But if you're out here for money, and money is your only, you don't care if you're driving a Pinto, you know, because that's kind of how I am for the most part. I don't care. I could be driving a Pinto, and it doesn't matter to me as long as the money is there and the money's right. All right. Now, when you get above the 3-year mark, it goes up a little bit, but it doesn't go up as drastically as it does from the 1 to 3-year mark. So above a 3-year mark, let's say a 5-year driver, they should be somewhere around 1,600 a week for a 2,500 mile week. All right, now that's as a company driver. These are not lease driver numbers. These are not owner operator numbers. These aren't. There's some companies that rent trucks. This isn't those numbers. These numbers are as a company driver only. Now, if you're hauling tanker or you're hauling some kind of specialized freight, they got a different pay scale. So this is for dry box drivers, reefer drivers, regular flatbed drivers. Your regular flatbed drivers like Decker, E.W. Wiley, a few of them others. I don't know what E.W. Wiley or Decker is paying at the moment, but that's what they should be paying based on your experience level. Now, obviously, drivers, if you have a lot of accidents or you start getting tickets out here or anything like that, that can mess you up. That can force you to end up going to work for a company that doesn't pay so well or doesn't treat their drivers very well. So keep that in mind and try to keep your record clean, as clean as you can. All right. Noticing this road construction that Stevens just passed me on the left-hand side, he's doing 2 things wrong right there, by the way. Number 1, that sign we just passed said all trucks right lane in this road construction. Number 2, the speed limit is 55. But I guess, speed limit slowed down, so it's Stevens' time to shine. But nowadays, a lot of these road construction areas have these cameras up and they take pictures. So you'll get a ticket, your company will get a ticket in the mail or whatever, however they notify them. And that'll come back on you 3 or 4 weeks later when it finally makes full circle. So I try to do the speed limit or close to it in these construction zones, and I always follow the lane because I don't like getting pulled over. I've seen guys get pulled over for being in the wrong lane. And some guys automatically assume it's the left lane because in most construction areas, it is the left lane. Anyway, I'm starting to get too far off topic here. My ADD got me. Now, so drivers, if there's another reason you're working where you're at, stick where you're at. If you're just making a couple $100 less than what you should be making, but you're getting home on weekends or you're able to get freight that goes by your house or whatever, don't stress over it, man. Take that and run with it. You know what I'm saying? This is just if you're wanting to make more money, or if you're wondering if you are making what you should be making. This is a good little guide for you to understand if you're at where you should be at or below. Now, you have training companies out there that have trainers. When I was training, I was normally about $500 more than I was as a company driver. So you can take those numbers, add 500 to them, and that's what you should be making if you are a trainer at a company. If you're making less than $500 more than those numbers that I put out there, something's wrong. Also, a lot of these companies are paying a lot more. Like where I work, $1,800 a week, $1,900 a week, not uncommon. $2,000 a week, not uncommon. So you can be well above it. And like I said, drivers, you're going to have to earn it. It's not just going to come to you. And a 2,500 mile week, you can ask a lot of these experienced drivers out here, and they'll tell you a 2,500 mile week in most cases is not working very hard. You think about it, 550, 600 miles a day, 4 or 5 days, you're done. What'd you do with the other 2 days? If you're running 2,500 mile weeks. Now, granted, there are some things that can get in the way of that. If you get hung up at a shipper or receiver, or if you're running flatbed, you got a lot more work involved with flatbed. So those guys tend to run a little bit less miles normally. Here we do pretty well. I run flatbed, but we got a lot of dropping hooks and stuff like that, so it helps out quite a bit. Anyway, I appreciate I appreciate all of you that stop by and check out the channel. Don't forget, at the end of the video, it's going to pop up a couple other videos. It's going to suggest one that would be best for you. I think it's in the bottom left corner. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Share this with new drivers so that it help give them a starting point or a base point in their career, so they know what they should be making. Y'all take care, stay safe. Remember to be good to one another. We are all family out here, even if we are a little bit dysfunctional. Love you guys.